Imagine a groundbreaking discovery that could shed light on the elusive nature of intuition, how decisions are made, and perhaps even where that gut feeling comes from. The first comprehensive map of a mammalian brain's activity has unveiled fascinating insights into these processes. For years, neuroscientists have dreamed of capturing brain activity at the neuron level across the entire brain. However, limitations in technology and resources have posed significant hurdles. Typically, a single electrode can only record from a limited number of neurons, and fitting too many electrodes into one brain is challenging. Additionally, conducting such extensive experiments requires a large number of test subjects, which is often impractical for a single laboratory. To address these challenges, researchers from 12 different labs collaborated on a monumental project. Each lab conducted the same experiment, focusing on different parts of the brain with some overlapping regions to ensure consistency in their findings. This collective effort resulted in data from over 650,000 neurons, creating the first brain-wide activity map of a complex behavior. This collaboration represents a revolutionary approach to tackling complex questions in modern neuroscience, notes Benedetto De Martino from University College London, who was not part of the research team. Similar to how CERN brought together physicists to solve the deepest mysteries in particle physics, this project unites laboratories globally to address challenges beyond the capabilities of any single group. In each lab, mice were trained to guide a striped target to the center of a screen using a small Lego steering wheel. When the stripes were highly contrasting, the target was easily visible. However, when the contrast decreased, the target became nearly invisible, forcing the mice to rely on their previous knowledge to make correct decisions and earn rewards. The experiment included biases to influence the mice's expectations of where the target might appear, perhaps appearing on the left side 80% of the time and on the right side 20% of the time. When the bias changed, the mice adjusted their expectations accordingly. The resulting map showed that decision-making activity is not localized to a single brain region, but is spread throughout the brain. According to team member Alexandre Pouget from the University of Geneva, traditionally, there have been claims that specific areas of the brain handle certain functions. Our findings reveal that decision-making involves a consensus among multiple brain areas, not just one. The study also supports earlier research indicating that decision-related signals develop well before the actual action is taken. Pouget explains that even before the experiment began, while the mouse was stationary, signals associated with the upcoming decision were detectable. As the target appeared, these signals intensified until they reached a threshold, prompting the mouse to turn the steering wheel. A separate study demonstrated how prior expectations, such as anticipating the target's location, are encoded in brain activity surprisingly early. The researchers observed that even as sensory signals traveled from the eyes to the thalamus, the brain's relay station, the initial expectation of whether the target would be on the left or right had already influenced the signals. This finding suggests that as soon as sensory information enters our brains, it is immediately shaped by our prior knowledge, subtly guiding our conscious decision-making process without our awareness. Pouget speculates that this phenomenon might be akin to what we experience as intuition. What's particularly intriguing is that this encoding appears to track not only recent sensory experiences, but also the history of our past choices. As Lawrence Hunt from the University of Oxford points out, this indicates that our expectations are shaped by our own behavior and subjective experiences, rather than by the objective reality of the environment. Does this mean that our decisions are predetermined? Pouget acknowledges The brain and its environment form a deterministic system. While many people find this notion unsettling, it's true. It means that to some degree, I can predict your actions before you decide. However, he adds, when we receive new information, we adjust our expectations, introducing uncertainties, because we cannot predict how the world will change. Looking ahead, the researchers hope that their findings and collaborative method will enhance our understanding of conditions like autism. Mouse models of autism suggest that these animals struggle to update their expectations when faced with new information, a characteristic that aligns with behavioral observations in humans. And this is the part most people miss. Could these discoveries challenge our notions of free will? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments.